Nothing has been left to chance or overlooked. Not a single crucial detail must escape them. In this fine dining restaurant, we know how to be meticulous, rigorous.
For now, everything's fine.
This time, however, it's a bit special. The whole team is preparing for an exceptional banquet.
First, we present the tasting plate, then the proper plate will be served.
Tonight, she expects about 100 VIP clients, but the stars will be in the kitchen. 4 renowned chefs will unite their expertise to elevate the meal. Here, at the Creya, a century-old residence on a picturesque estate in the heart of Champagne, 4 talented and experienced chefs have formed a special bond. First, here's Gérard Boyer. He started this restaurant 28 years ago and brought it its 3 stars. Under his orders, Alain Passard honed his skills. Today, he too is 3-starred. Same path for Frédéric Anton, also the best craftsman in France, and a judge on the country's most watched cooking show. Philippe Mille, finally, he's the current head of the estate. He earned his first star. Tonight, the same kitchen will bring together 10 stars. Beyond the reunion, a performance, each chef will present their specialty. To discover Alain Passard a few days earlier, we didn't make a reservation at his Paris restaurant, but in one of his gardens, at the break of dawn. For 10 years, Pasard has focused his creativity on vegetables. He carefully selects each variety and works it meticulously like a grand cru.
We'll have 2 terroirs. We're in the winemaker's dynamic. The land, our vegetables. We can discuss yellow beetroot resembling Sauvignon and red beetroot, similar to Pinot Noir in every detail.
From this clay soil, celery, turnips, radishes, and other roots are emerging right now. Among all these treasures of the earth, Chef Pasard chose one to represent him at the chalkboard.
Yes, it's wonderful.
The famous celery.
The famous celeriac, yes.
C'est un peu notre boule de cristal.
On the menu then, a celery risotto.
Didier, of course, understood it. It comes from risotto, but we replaced the rice with celery. That's where the word comes from. It's risotto. The vegetable, it's a canvas, it's a painting. Did you know they were so sexy?
Your veggies?
Ah, no, we don't really know that. No, but now, yes.
The chef now only cooks with his homegrown 100% organic vegetables.
Still, these are truly some lucky celery. I'm heading to Champagne for a delightful evening.
So he will travel with his own celery, which will never see a fridge.
All right, Renaud, good week. Thank you.
Before Reims, one more quick stop in Paris. In the kitchen of Chef Anton. Since his early days in Reims, he has come a long way and still savors his success with the joy of a kid.
What's amusing is that for me, between the Pré Catalan and the Crière, between this magnificent castle in Reims and this building in the heart of the Bois de Boulogne, I truly believe they look very much alike.
For his return to the kitchen, he needed a dish that stood out. So, he chose a signature product from his establishment. For years at this season, the sea urchin tops his menu.
We have a larger, deeper dish. So, inside, we will pour a sea urchin jelly made from fresh ingredients and served refreshingly cold. Here we will have some caviar. Here we will have sea urchin tongues. And there, celery puree. But these little dots are not just for decoration. They add flavor. And when you take the jelly, something happens in your mouth, and in the end, it simply feels like opening the sea urchin, slurping the urchin water inside, taking the little tongues, eating them, and you get the same effect.
If Alain Passard wants to impress with his vegetables, Frédéric Anton hopes to surprise and win over with this unloved sea urchin.
Neatly arrange them without any mess. We always struggle choosing this product, ensuring we get the best option. And when you slightly nudge the client to try it in a menu and they taste it and say, wow, it's not that bad, it means that it's, I wouldn't call it a great dish, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
We won't show more, or it wouldn't be the chef's surprise anymore. The chalk pits, D-Day. Philippe Mille, the head chef, gets his brigade on track. These 18 chefs will have to not only prepare their dish, but also those of their 3 prestigious predecessors.
We focus, we do the usual work anyway. We listen to the chefs for each section, we let them taste. Okay? Okay.
First mission, Chef Anton's sea urchins to handle. 10 kilos to open, beware sharp spikes, okay?
No, it's fine. We'll get it back. They eat it in urchins, actually.
We collect the sea urchin's juice.
For these skilled chefs, it's a discovery.
A recipe in a magazine.
They're going to try to do it right, but yes, there's a little extra approval.
The celery, they arrived well in the night. Alain Passard left very technical instructions for handling these cherished vegetables. What matters in this recipe?
That's quite a hefty amount of almonds indeed.
But Mr. Passard, he's romantic.
Yeah.
This is cooking.
But love is surely not blind at all. The experienced chef wisely had his assistant oversee the celery chopping. It is usually always best to have a good eye for it.
Weaker, no, stronger. Superior, we still lack 4 consistent edges. It shouldn't be too small or it cooks too fast. By the time you make it, it turns into mush. There needs to be a sufficient amount of substance so we maintain the crunch just like the chef wants.
Here's the official standard regulation cut.
A real little cube. It's the small details, but that's what makes the chef's cuisine.
The kitchen is up and running. Now it's just waiting for the chefs. Frédéric Anton is coming to see if his recipe has been understood. The sea urchin juice has now turned into jelly. The dots represent the spikes on its shell. The plate looks absolutely amazing, but how does the food taste?
That's great. It's really briny, tastes good, it's tender.
Positive verdict, so now the pressure can finally drop.
Boss's results.
Received a praise?
Yeah, truly exceptional indeed.
Do you enjoy that role, Inspector of Genius Women?
No, because I'm lucky. I'm always in my kitchen, working closely with my cooks, making sure everything runs smoothly and the dishes are of the highest quality.
I think Philippe could say it first. They let me taste, I taste, and of course, I'll be there to ensure the result is perfect when it's served.
It's really essential.
But the success of the dinner isn't decided solely in this kitchen. In the estate's cellars, the pastry shop has been bustling since dawn. Hosted by Arthur Feb. At only 21, he's the youngest dessert champion of France. And tonight, he will bear the heavy responsibility of concluding the Grand Chef's dinner. A week he's been patiently blowing this sugar like glass.
I create these delicate sugar pears.
So you have to be very precise, which is crucial, to have a pleasant texture in the mouth, and at the same time, not too thin, so it's not too fragile to plate.
Golden brown at the end, they will be topped at the last minute to prevent them from melting. An ambitious, ephemeral, risky creation, but for this special dinner, the risk was needed.
It's pressure, but we take on the challenge like a competition and we go all out.
To match these great chefs one day, 3-starred and best craftsmen of France.
On his side, Philippe James, the sommelier, gathers the last bottles for the evening. Dug into the chalk, the cellar gave its name to the estate. It's one of the most important in the region. 45,000 bottles, about 1,200 varieties. In agreement with the chefs, Philippe James paired each dish with the finest vintages of great champagne cuvées.
For 100 people, that's a lot of bottles.
No room for error. The guests will be connoisseurs.
Most of the representatives of the champagne houses will be there tonight, so we have to serve their wine in the best conditions, the right glass, the right aeration, and the right temperature.
So the champagne will accompany the entire dinner. It will also be part of Gérard Boyer's sauce. Retirement hasn't really harmed the dean of chefs, master roaster, and master saucier. Tonight, he's indeed the main attraction.
Here's a chef who taught us cooking 20 years ago. I'm going to watch. Everything he does, from A to Z. Stop it, Fred. You're really stressing me out too much. No, I just had a little bit of that earlier today.
Gerard Boyer will serve the renowned Bresse chicken that made him famous. She was marinated under the skin 2 days to absorb well. Fred,
You must saute the rice well. Let it be, you see, a bit longer.
it will be served with this basmati rice.
Well, they should all become translucent eventually.
A pilaf rice with black truffle, foie gras, accompanied by a champagne sauce. Just that. It's a dish by itself. This will be the last one before passing away.
It's not a menu where each element must shine. It's a menu where we all need to prepare for a chromatic rise in flavors and not tastes going everywhere.
Now, it's Alain Passard's turn to pass the apron. Remember, the key to his recipe would be love. Well, if the boss says you truly love yourself, he's not joking.
No, what is love? It's the senses, it's the five senses interconnected. This celery requires a lot of attention. Hold it and watch it carefully to ensure it remains at its best.
You have to really listen to it at the bottom of the pan when you start melting it gently.
After that, it's really quite good and it has a lovely scent. That's true love's essence.
Say it loud, sure. The perfect celery dice is initially sautéed gently in salted butter, with minced onion added in. The chef then adds whole milk.
And we'll let it simmer like this, without aggression. A tiny bubbling at the point of the burner.
The milk slowly evaporates under the watchful eyes of a brigade.
A great moment, it's magical. Hearing about the vegetable like that, it's awesome.
Few gestures, few ingredients, the vegetable reigns.
So now, the recipe is done. The important thing is we have a nice texture. The milk has completely disappeared, and it's the Parmesan that binds it together.
8:30 p.m. Guests are here. No more time to dawdle. While he enjoys an appetizer, sea urchin jellies need checking. More than 200 drops for each plate.
It takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of precision, and a lot of people. But that's the price to pay for this dish. You got this, guys. I still need to work a bit. Sorry about that. All right, everything good? Okay, I'll go now. Ladies and gentlemen, continue and find sea urchin with delicate celery and French claveria jelly by Chef Frédéric Anton.
Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Many thanks.
Chef Anton aimed to popularize sea urchin. It appears he succeeded.
My last smile with the sea urchins, it's a wound that lasted days, infected, etc. Great. I hold no grudges against sea urchins.
Next comes the risotto celery, served with a creamy foam and sprinkled with white truffles.
This is the only Italian dish of the evening. Can I make you some truffles?
Evoked on a plate, Alain Passard's vegetable garden.
Do you recall the beautiful garden emerging gracefully from fertile ground? And now, tonight, it's the pinnacle, you know? Yeah, we're coming. No, I love this little Italian touch like that.
In his kitchen, Philippe Mille puts the finishing touch on his dish. Tonight, he who receives guests took a daring step with caramelized scallops, served on a bed of roasted foie gras, then poached like pot-au-feu.
It's all the fragrances that will infuse the kitchen for 6 hours, and where the foie gras, at the last moment, will also soak up that aroma.
Who says pot-au-feu? Says vegetables.
Enoki mushrooms.
Mushrooms, young cabbages, cooked and raw beets, then without white bed in lamb's lettuce, all of course in its broth.
There you go, like that. Are you okay? Everything going well? Very good, bravo, excellent.
Philippe Mille wasn't named best craftsman in France by chance, but because of his skills. The dance of dishes is coming to an end. Under the cloche, Gérard Boyer's specialty. Fourth dish, fourth chef, and guests delighted by this fine variety.
You can sense the confident one, the craziest one, the most impressionable one, each adding their unique and distinct flair.
And this fascinating story, it is profoundly human.
This may truly be the most heartfelt and beautiful moment.
When people say it's good, I never believe them. I think it's kindness.
It's stupid, but that's how it is anyway.
The chefs kept their promise. Now there's Arthur's dessert, the young pastry chef. Not too stressed?
The pressure is high.
The whole team collaborates with him and assists with the most delicate part of the evening. In just a few minutes, we need to fill up the 100 sugar pears. Impossible to avoid the breakage. To Alain Passard's greatest delight, always on the lookout for missed pears to savor them.
Encore une, monsieur Pasard? Encore une? Oh, menteur!
It's a tour de force.
Qu'est-ce qui vous épate?
All the separate elements of this dessert. It's incredible.
And then this transparent shell, it feels like it is a beautiful shimmering crystal.
The extraordinary talent and celebrated personalities across these generations of chefs. After their departure, this 10-star meal was on the menu for a month, costing €350. The chefs promised to renew each year this evening in the land of gourmets.